Hello everybody, this is Double RPG here, and welcome to the very first episode of Double RPG Let's Play that covers Mega Man on the NES. So, in order to celebrate the Blue Bomber's 25th anniversary, since it seems like Capcom's not going to treat it very nicely, which a lot of us think, I am going to be treating it very nicely myself, and I am going to be doing a series of Let's Plays based off of the Blue Bomber's 25th years of awesomeness. And the first game we are going to do is Mega Man, that was originally released on the NES back in 1987 in both Japan, Europe, and North America, if I'm not mistaken. Or did it release in 1988 in Europe? Oh, I'm not even sure, but this game came out in 1987 in North America, hence the subsidiary Capcom USA you see in the title. But we're not going to waste any time, and we are going to get started with this Let's Play. And this game is usually hit or miss by some people's standards. Mainly they say it's a miss because of certain things like the physics and the gameplay not being up to top quality just yet, or it's because of the bad box art Mega Man for the US version that did not do well in terms of sales. But while that is true, there are some things in this game that actually make it very good and very memorable. Like, for instance, some of the Robot Masters, basically a couple of them are actually pretty awesome, which are Cutman and Gutsman. And some of the foundations that you see in this game were later improved in the sequels. And of course, I'm one of those people who think that this game is a hit and miss, but personally, I think Mega Man just really wasn't at the top of his game just yet. I would even go as far to say that Mega Man Powered Up on the PSP was actually a more superior game than the original. And plus, you even get to play the original game, but set with the Mega Man Powered Up, the graphics done in Mega Man Powered Up, which is actually a very nice touch. And as you can see, and since we're talking about the Robot Masters, there are 6 in this game, where later games you would usually be forced to pit yourself against 8 of them in order to get to the main antagonist's own castle, who is Dr. Wily. And for those of you who don't know, Dr. Wily was once a great colleague to Dr. Light, who both created robots, and Dr. Light was ending up getting more of the fame while Wily was just being left aside in the background by the general public, in which it turned his bitter jealousy into rage, and thus he kidnapped Dr. Wily's 6 own robots that he created, which you see on the screen right here, and they pitted them against humanity and Dr. Light himself. And in order to combat Dr. Wily and the 6 Robot Masters that he has under his command, Dr. Light had to create Mega Man based off one of the robots, based on 2, which were his first creations, named Rock and Roll. And Rock pretty much ended up getting the limelight and becoming a hero of sorts, and thus he became the name Mega Man, which we all know and love. So, anyway, by going through these stages, you have to put yourself in one of the stages you want to go through in order to get to the next one. And with every boss that you go through and try to pit yourself up against, they will always have a weakness. So, I'm going to be showing you the correct order on how to get through the whole game, but for this Let's Play, it's going to be 5 episodes long, meaning that we're going to be going through 2 Robot Masters a stage, or 2 Robot Masters a video, and as well as 2 of Dr. Wily's castle, or 2 levels of Dr. Wily's castle within one video. So that will be equal to 5 episodes. So I think this is a good 5-day series to get started with Mega Man's 25th anniversary, doing it double RPG style. And let's not waste any time further, and let's go to the first stage, which is Bomb Man. Bomb Man, I will say I'm not really for the character. I mean, he's actually pretty cool, but I'm just not totally for him as a Robot Master. He's definitely not one of my favorites, but he is definitely one of the more memorable ones. But I still say that Cutman and Gutsman are definitely at the top of their league in terms of popularity when it comes to the Robot Masters in this game. Of course, where there are great hero characters, there are great villain characters. I mean, for hero characters, you have Mega Man, Roll, Dr. Light, and for villains, you have Dr. Wily and Cutman and Gutsman. Who would have thought that they would actually be at the top of their game, just based on this game alone? It's amazing. Anyway, since we're here at Bomb Man stage, this is mostly going to be a gauntlet of just trying to climb up ladders, but we can get through it in safe distances, or whatever you want to say. Now, another thing that I need to mention about this game is that this is the only game in the series where it utilizes a point system, where they completely abandon that factor in later games. I guess this has something to do with the number of robot masters you can fight against, or something. I am not entirely certain why they got rid of the... Oh, stupid Sniper Joe. How did you respawn? But like I said, I'm not sure why they fully got rid of the point system in later games. I guess they swapped the point system and were more in favor of the password system, which you actually do see in the later entries, which the next game started it all. And I guess it really made things a lot easier in the long run for Mega Man games to be more expanded and have better quality and whatever you want to say about the whole series, because there were lots of things, and even the sequels, that set the standard for what Mega Man is all about, and even is what gave birth to newer series like Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero, and even the Mega Man Legends and Mega Man Battle Network and ZX and Star Force series. So there are lots of things that are tied to the lineage of Mega Man overall. So it's actually a pretty cool history lesson to see how lots of those things actually originated from this game. Even I am impressed. But albeit, this is not my favorite series in the overall Mega Man franchise. I still think, and I still hold dear to this day, that Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero are the more superior games in my knowledge, or in my book. Okay, now this enemy I never did explain quite immensely. These are Sniper Joes, and they are pretty much another staple enemy in the Mega Man series. And they do change very often from game to game, although they do tend to go back to their normal designs in Mega Man 7 and onward. They do have different variations in later games, as I've been mentioning, and I better shut up or else I'm not going to get past this stage. Normally with games like this, you want to be very patient because, well, games like this that have good game design, level design, and good control, good physics, you have to be careful because most of the time it usually comes in as trial and error. Alright, we have made it to the doorway that will lead us towards, that leads us into the pathway before Bomb Man's lair. And once you go down here, get back on the ladder and go back down and don't get yourself hurt in the process, even though that was kind of inevitable. Now let me see if I can do this without even getting hurt by Bomb Man once. I jinxed myself. But I will not do that a second time, as we pretty much are at full health at this point. And I'm pretty much going to jinx myself regardless. Actually, no, I don't. I managed to save my skin in that nick of time. We are close to Bomb Man. Now, the key to defeating Bomb Man is you want to get really close to him, because every time when you get close to him, he will jump over you. And he can't even score any distance between you and him, so that way he can throw his bombs. There, just like that. Simple as that. Most people would often need to go after Bomb Man first, but I noticed that lots of people tend to go for Cut Man first because he's normally the Robot Master that the cursor has placed on at first when you start this game, or when you start to go back to the Robot Master selection stage. But, as I said, Bomb Man is the best route to go. He has the most predictable pattern, and he can be easily avoided, mostly. And Cut Man is a little bit more of a medium difficult type of Robot Master. Well, a lot of these Robot Masters are actually pretty difficult, if I do say so myself. Alright guys, it's time for us to take care of the next Robot Master, and the one who is infamous for having one of the most recognizable butts on all of the internet. Yes, it's Gutsman. Okay, now we're here at Gutsman stage, as I said, and I will have to say, this is one of my favorite and one of my least favorite stages. Reason why it's one of my favorite stages? Well, because it has a really awesome theme. The reason why it's my least favorite stage? Well, because of one thing. These things. These platforms. Because if you take a look underneath with the cord that is so thin from the rest of that is outside of the main frame of this structure, it will actually cause these platforms to fall. Like that. And I just pretty much just made a total idiot out of myself and just killed myself in the process. So this is what I mean by this game not really being at the top of its game, because a lot of the physics are just complete crap. I mean, if you notice me when I just jump off, or when I just, just walk off to the side, that you'll actually fall really fast. And in later Mega Man games, they added more physics to that, so that way it will actually make the descents a lot easier, so that way you have some leeway to try to get onto a platform after it starts to fall down. So I better not jinx this again, and just take it one little step at a time. Just like that. And this is another one of my least favorite enemies. These guys, when they get close to you, or within range, they can actually, within range of where you're standing, they will actually try to come down at you. But they can be killed in one shot. So at least there's an advantage to try and taking him down. Okay, so go ahead and kill those guys. Really hate these enemies too. They take a lot of hits and they chuck those spears at you. And they didn't make an appearance again until Mega Man X. Which I'm actually very surprised, that considering how long it took for these guys to make a comeback. But, who am I kidding? They're probably the least memorable. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I wanted to try and get that. Well, at least I get an extra life, and I can come here and I can get this health restoration. But of course, I'm probably gonna waste that extra life. Go ahead and see if I can try to kill this before it comes after me, and I do. Pretty good. Alright, it's time for us to go through these doors again, and that will lead us to where Gutsman is. Well, this is the walkway before Gutsman's lair. And of course, sometimes they have these enemies like the hard hats or the Mets that will actually be here in case if you need to get lucky in getting some health restoration items or some weapon energy restoration items. Alright, it's now time for us to take on Mr. Gutsman himself, and he has a recognizable butt. Yeah, I said that, guys. So, yeah, go ahead, have your laugh, and go find a different joke on the internet if you can. But he is pretty easy to defeat. If you just plainly see right here. You just only need to throw 3 bombs at him, and he's down for the count. Just like that. And with that, I think this is probably a good spot to where we can go ahead and we can wrap up this episode. So, next time on Double RPG Let's Play with Mega Man on the NES, we're going to go to the next 2 Robot Master stage, which are Cutman and Electman. So, this should be pretty exciting. Alright, gamers, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you on the next episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys then.